Do you remember that feeling growing up where you never wanted to invite anyone over to your house because the rules weren't the same that you experienced at other people's houses? Not that there were explicit rules, it was more just the overall vibe was different, that you didn't feel the restriction and the rules and the energy in other people's houses that you felt in yours. And so you actually just didn't want to subject your friends to that feeling that you had to live with every day. And actually, no one in your house ever asked you to invite people over. They weren't really that interested in your friendships or your life. And so there weren't extended invitations anyway. In fact, you might not have even been able to invite people over. That would have been too much of a burden on the family. And so you didn't. So you just sort of spent time in other people's houses whenever and however you could and compared it to your own experience and felt a bit ashamed by it. Maybe even perhaps like something was wrong with you because you didn't know how to be quote unquote normal. And so when you were at other people's houses, you were constantly sort of following their cues and being curious, as though maybe you felt like you were an alien, taking in how these other people lived, maybe wishing that you could one day live like them. If you don't relate to this, you might not have grown up in a narcissistic family system. And if you do relate to this maybe is your friendly reminder that you can create a safe space. You can create a safe home. You can invite people over. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be spontaneous. You're allowed to be spontaneous. Even as I say that, something in my body goes, no, you're not. But we are allowed to create a new relationship to home and to safety and to friendship and relationship. And we don't have to be ashamed of who we are or how we are or where we came from. And this is my reminder to you and to me. My name is Dr. Ingrid Clayton. I'm a clinical psychologist taking a little rest here on my couch. I'm a trauma therapist and a trauma survivor, and I talk about growing up in narcissistic abuse. On this account, for me, it led to complex PTSD, unresolved complex trauma. And I talk about what that means, what that looks like, really through my lived experience primarily, because I believe that there's a power to really heal through shared experience, through shared stories. So I'm glad that you're here, and stick around, subscribe, and we'll continue the conversation.